All right,
Sorry about that.
oh, I'll wait for the recording. Okay, Oregon, tonight's Oregon Town Board meeting will come to order, and Jennifer, you would please call the roll.
Carl Walzer,
Here.
Lori Fitzgerald,
Here.
Arlen Kai,
Here.
Steve Jernigan,
I'm here.
and Tim
Excellent.
LeBrun.
Here.
Awesome.
Super. Okay, item number 3 then is approval of minutes, and we've got 3 dates worth. So Board of Review on October 8th, that's when the Marlene Storms objection was. November 3rd, board meeting, and then November 10th, that was the combined budget public hearing, electors meeting, and then a board meeting. So if there are no edits or requests for changes, I would be looking, well, I'll do unanimous consent, but are there any changes to those meetings minutes?
No.
No.
Okay, then without objection, that set of minutes is approved. Item 4, Jennifer, financial report, loan update, and the payment vouchers. And that looks like it's, did you say the page numbers changed in the packet? I've got, well, these would be before the Payne and Dolan documents. So
Sure,
anyway,
it should be page 10 would be the check for the trailer, the Public
Right.
Works office trailer. And then page 11 would be the checks that were written for the month.
Yep, that's what I've got.
Okay.
I'll move to approve the payment vouchers.
Okay, do you hear a second?
Second.
Second, Steve.
Okay, tie goes to Steve, let's say. Okay, any discussion about those?
Jennifer, anything unique about the office trailer? Anything odd? Or
I would say no, just that the trailer is supposed to be here in, I'm sorry, January
28th, I think. Oh, I thought it was
8th?
later.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, it could be.
I think it's the end of January is what
Okay.
the Will Scott person said. Any other
Awesome.
questions?
No other questions.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed say no.
Aye.
Motion carries. I'll have to be a little slower on voting. Number 5 is public comments, and anyone who's connected, are you here for public comments?
I am Diane Packett.
Hi, Diane.
Hey, Carl, how's it going?
Good. What can we do for you?
Okay, let me turn on my camera. Yeah, so I have a comment on items, which is now 6, used to be item 12.
Okay.
And with your permission, I'll read it because I wanted to make sure I get in under the time limit. So,
Okay. We can
for
be a
the
little
record-
flexible tonight. You know, it's not a full house.
Oops. Okay. For the record, my name is Diane Packett, and I live at 5428 Marie Road in the town of Oregon, and I'm one of the adjoining property members to Mr. Oro's. I've lived in the town for 12 years with my husband and have volunteered with the Oregon Nature Alliance, and I've done fundraising for the Anderson Park Friends, and I've served on the Parks Committee for the past 2 years. So my comment and question, I responded to the survey of town residents regarding town priorities for Vision 2040. I participated in the Vision 2040 workshop, and I've read the survey report, which showed that the majority of the respondents stated that a high priority for the town should be preservation of farmland and open and natural spaces and preservation of the rural character of the area. So I'd like to understand more about how converting this 50 acres of farmland preservation to RM16 maintains or promotes the town's goals for the future, given that. And I'm concerned about the implications of future loss of farmland preservation lands and concerned that the RM16 zone lists 20 possible conditional uses, including mineral extraction, recreational, racing, and a private airfield that are not consistent with the character of the area. So that's about RM16. And then I wanted to state that I was at the end of the public hearing with Mr. Oros and Mr. Blasek, where they presented their plan and asked for deed restrictions on these 3 rezoned properties to prevent further development, and said that they only want to build a home and perhaps a few other structures. And I understand and appreciate Mr. Oros' concern for being a good neighbor and for his concern for the community. My concerns are for the future. So circumstances can change, and if in the future Mr. Oros should decide for some reason to sell the land to another developer who is maybe not so concerned about the community, that person could seek to remove the deed restrictions or rezone the property again. And I understand that if a deed restriction is deemed to be confusing the way it's written, it could be lifted depending on the wording. So I would ask that a written copy of the restrictions be made available prior to any final action, and that they include the purpose of the restriction, whether it's to maintain the area's character or whatnot, and who the beneficiaries and enforcers are, if that's the county or the town, the adjacent property owners, or the general public. So again, I have no objections to living next to Mr. Oros. I look forward to it, but I'm concerned about what happens in the future to this property and others. So thank you for listening to me.
Thank you, Diane. You may know this already, but one of the frustrating things about public comments is we can't respond or debate with you.
Okay,
So it's going to seem like we're ignoring you. We're not,
that's all right.
but it's the nature of how that agenda item works. And
Okay.
still staying within open meeting law.
Okay, I thought you were allowed to answer questions.
No, there's a fine line, and
Okay.
we've got an agenda item coming up about that.
Okay,
So I don't know where the line is with this particular conversation. So
Okay.
for public comments, always the safest route is that it's your chance to comment. It's not really a debate or regular agenda item.
of course.
So it sounds
So-
like a cop out. I've been on the other end of it years ago, and so
No worries.
but
Mr. Chair, I think we will be discussing and having some comments when we reach that agenda item.
sounds good. Thank you. All right, thank you, Diane. Any other participants for public comments? Okay, thank you. Then item 6 then is Payne and Dolan report, and Brianna's here somewhere.
Yes, let me just get myself unmuted and show my face.
Do you want to share on the screen at all with your,
Yeah, I can share the handout.
see if we can.
If you can't, I can probably. I haven't done Zoom town board meetings in like 5 years.
I know.
We were talking about that too. It's been a long time.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. Yep. But I am glad we're doing this tonight. I live out in Watertown, so I didn't want to get
my.
caught in that ice storm either. Okay, do you want me to try to share it?
Yeah, that sounds great, if you don't mind.
Yep. You can't share screen when other people are sharing a document.
Oh, here, I gotta close my note. Let me close my note.
Okay.
Here we go. All right.
Share.
There it is. There you are.
Just gotta share the right document. How's that?
It hasn't come yet.
Okay.
There it is.
There it
There
is.
it is. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. That zoomed in enough for everybody. You can all read it on there on your screen.
Mhm.
You bet.
Oh,
That's good.
awesome.
Thank you.
Yep, for sure. Well, nice to see everybody again. as I know most of you. So my name is Brianna Buckles with Payne and Dolan. I'm kind of here tonight with Matt Decker. He's logged on here from Waukesha. He is our Oregon Aggregate Site Manager.
Hey guys,
And
Hi.
oh,
Hey, Matt.
there we go. There's Matt.
I'm here.
Hey, Matt.
We're here tonight to give an update on our operations at our Oregon aggregate site this year, and then a little look into our operations going into 2026. And just a little background for this meeting. The annual operations update is a requirement of our Oregon aggregate site CUP. And then as part of the approval for our portable asphalt plant CUP at the same site, we agreed to include our asphalt plant operations update in this meeting as well. So like I said, just a little background going into this. So operations at the aggregate site this year, pretty standard status quo for us, similar to last year. We did strip overburden and topsoil from the north part of the site. I'll get a little map on here for you. We stripped overburden and topsoil from up here, and we used that to reclaim about 7 acres in the southwestern portion of the site. And the farmer was able to plant that this year too. So we're calling it interim reclaimed until we can get that certified by Dane County. We did have the portable crushing plant on site this year. We had it up and running in the spring. Then we took it out, went to another site, and then brought it back in and crushed again in the fall. We also excavated below the water table again this year, and you can kind of see our drag line up here working in the water. That's where we just take a big bucket, scoop the sand and gravel out from the water table, and then process that material. And we did have our portable asphalt plant on site and running this year as well. And you can see that down here, kind of by our recycled asphalt piles that are a little darker down there in the southeastern portion of the site. That ran in the spring, and then it being portable, we took it out, brought it to a different site in southern Wisconsin, ran it for a little bit there, and then brought it back to Oregon to run it for a couple months in the fall. So really nice to have that portable asphalt plant permit here so we can run it when we need it, and take it out when we need it somewhere else, when there's jobs elsewhere. Just some highlights for projects that we paved with that asphalt plant this year. In the town of Oregon, we did the Raven Oak subdivision. And then our largest job out of that plant was the State Highway 92 project from Brooklyn to Belleville. And then we paved in, I think, 7 other municipalities surrounding Oregon, like Rutland, Dunn, Union, and then a couple cities as well. So quite a few projects coming out of the plant this year. And then looking at our operations at the aggregate site next year, you'll see words like anticipated and expected, because it just depends what projects come up, what bids we get as the winter and spring come. But right now we are not planning on doing any major dirt work at the site next year, but we are planning on processing some material there. So bringing in that crushing plant again. That's really all I have for an operations update. Other than I don't believe Matt or I received any complaints for our Oregon aggregate site or asphalt plant operations this year. And looking at my notes, I didn't see any last year either. So great news there. That's all I have, unless anyone on the board has any questions for Matt or I.
A scientific question on my part. How deep do you dig the aggregate out underwater?
It depends. how that material is laid there exactly, but it could be anywhere between 20 to 40 feet.
Oh, that sort of begged the other question. Are you at the bottom of the aggregate when you're there, or is there significantly more aggregate beyond that?
We are currently reaching down as far as we will go at this site.
I have another question as well in that same vein. The site seems so big and you're working in the very top corner of the site. I would assume, are you going to move east, south and east? And just out of curiosity, wouldn't it be easier to work above the water considering the site is so large?
Okay, yep. So first question, good one. The direction. So we started in the southern area of the site, we're moving north, and then we're kind of wrapping to the northeast, and then we'll work our way back down. So always keeping that operations area open in the southern part.
Yeah.
And then as we're going north, we're going to keep reclaiming behind us.
Uh-huh.
And then continuing to open more going north and south. And it's kind of shown like that on our, I shouldn't say kind of, it's shown like that on our operations plan as well.
So does reclaiming mean you're going to be filling that water back in?
Yeah, yep. So you can kind of see in this map is a good example. So in the northwestern portion of the site, we have that freshwater pond.
Yes.
As we wash our material, that silt and sand that's washed off the rock will then be pumped back into that fresh water. It goes right back to where it came from. And that's called our mud pond. That mud pond fills up and then we cap it with overburden, like depending, could be 4 to 6 feet of overburden. And then we cap that with topsoil and then reclaim it. So
Okay.
every freshwater pond turns into a mud pond, which then turns into reclaimed future farmland.
Okay. And you're expected to hit water as you continue north and then easterly and then back down to the south? Do you plan to have that water chase you all the way down there?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
Yep. And then I think your second question was, why the heck are we digging in the water when there's material above water
Yes.
there? The sand and gravel material is good underwater and it's also good above water. So what we like to do is mix the material from below the water table with the material from above the water table at the same time to kind of get that consistent gradation, and always putting that same mixed material through the asphalt plant, if that answers your question.
Yeah,
A little bit here, a little bit of here, and mix it up.
Got it. That site has roughly 20 years left to it. Does that have extensions behind it?
You know what? I don't think that there is a built-in renewal to that permit, but I don't have it in front of me right now.
Okay, just curious.
Yep.
All right.
Any other questions, folks? Sounds like no. Brianna, thank you very much. Matt, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Good,
Thanks,
good
guys.
to see you again. We'll see you in a year.
What about the site on Union Road? Are you going to do you report about that site as well?
Anderson?
Yeah.
It's not required in our Anderson permit. This is only a requirement of our Oregon CUP.
Okay.
Yep. So that's why I only have, a map and information on that one here.
All right. I was wondering why the other one was left out.
No, I didn't purposely leave it out.
Okay. All right.
Lori or Steve, anything?
No.
Nope, not me.
All right, excellent. Brianna, thank you very much.
Yes. Yep. Thank you.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
everyone, for having me. I'll try to stop sharing and mute myself correctly here. Okay. There we go.
There you go.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt. And Brianna, we
Thank
won't be
you.
offended if you go have dinner or something.
Thanks, guys.
All right, so let's see. Let's move item 12 up to now. So Arlen, this is the
Yes,
rezone petition.
rezone petition. We are on the land division, the CSM request. The property that is on Highway A on the hill. It is a shifting, this has the two splits on it, and this subdivision will use up the splits. And yes, they're part of the approval is based on there are no more splits. Nothing more can be done to this property as far as dividing. The plan commission recommended approval with that contingency, or condition, I should say. And I would, to help discussion, I will make the motion from the plan commission to approve the land rezone of land division petition number DCPREZ-2025-1228. In a number of parcels involved. And it is to divide 40.26 acres. The owner is looking more at having the property lie fallow rather than active farming. So it would, or the farming would be more hobby farm, and but that's beside the point. That's not a part of a condition. That they can be speaking to that if they are here. But I make that motion.
Do we hear a second to Arlen's motion?
I'll second the motion. But I do have
Okay.
some questions as
Okay.
well.
Any discussion?
Yes. So it's my understanding it's a total of about 50.52 acres, and it's being split into a 40.26 and a 10.26. I just want to confirm that that's the case.
That is correct.
And it's my understanding that both properties, the 40 and the 10 acres, will both have deed restrictions that they can be split no further down.
Correct.
Okay. That's it. That's all I have.
And did the plan commission have any concerns about deed restrictions being lifted to allow more splits?
No.
Okay, thank you.
I believe that in the past they have been rather adamant on other requests.
Mm-hmm.
Recording in progress.
Any other discussion? Well, let's wait for the technical thing.
I said, Carl, that's me. I'm
Okay.
trying to get on here. I'm sorry.
A little feedback loop.
Yeah.
Are the
I
applicants online?
Say that again,
I
Arlen.
was
Are the applicants online?
I believe so.
Yes. Can you hear us?
I can hear you, Gary.
Yep. Yeah, we're here to answer any questions. I'm Gary Blazik with Veerbecker. I'm here with Les Orles. He's on a separate feed, but we're both here to answer any questions or talk about whatever you guys might want to talk about. Do you want us to give you a presentation or anything, or I can pull up some maps if that helps, but
I think we've entrusted the plan commission to do that.
yeah, okay.
And I assume you've met with them already multiple times, probably.
Yeah, we met with them, received some feedback. I think it was a unanimous approval, so we're going to the county next week. So we'll be going to the county next week for the zoning, and following that, we'll be going with the CSM to get that approval too, so.
Mm-hmm.
Arlen, I have a question. Is the existing home, is that still on the property or is that going to be removed?
The applicant can speak to that, but it was represented to us that it was going to be removed and replaced.
Okay,
Not at this time, but be available to be replaced.
Yeah, it's pretty much inhabitable in its current condition. Les would like to get rid of it and take it down at some point. Probably sooner than later.
I'm sorry, did you say inhabitable or uninhabitable?
It's uninhabitable.
Uninhabitable. Okay.
Yep.
and is that going to be a requirement before the new home gets built, or can both homes stay on that site? Do you know?
The house, part of the restriction from Dane County is that it be removed. The timing of it needs to be clarified by the applicant. Be most desirable to have it gone before they build the new one. And
Okay.
if it's uninhabitable, that seems like it may be sooner, long before it's even replaced.
Because I know that when, like, our, we will sometimes let them live in the home while they're building the other home, but that wouldn't seem to be the issue here.
That
So
is not
just-
the case.
Yeah,
Les lives over in the Bergamot community right now, so
okay,
his desire is to get rid of that home sooner than later.
okay. That's what I just wanted to make sure that we weren't gonna have that issue. Okay, thank you.
Also, this is Stephanie, I'm sorry. Another comment on that topic is they're actually using their split to build their new home on. So that's not a condition of their new home. So even if they left that on there, they're splitting off that land where they have one split available. So the replacement home really does not affect the building
Oh.
of their new home.
Okay, thank you, Stephanie. That's what I was trying to understand. Okay,
I
thank you.
figured. Mhm.
Thank you. That's what I was, yeah, okay, thank you.
Are these two properties going to share a single driveway with an easement, or is there going to be a driveway petition coming as well?
No, Les's plan is to have a separate driveway for the new home, and then keep the existing driveway out there for now. Is that correct, Les? Crickets.
Oh, Les is on.
He's
Les is
muted.
on mute.
He's muted. Yeah.
Unmute yourself, Les, if you can.
Yeah, I think he's on his phone, which seems to be a little bit difficult.
Challenging.
Yeah.
I can kind of speak to that with how they petitioned before the Plan Commission. It was to have a new driveway, but that driveway would be on County Highway A, and that permit would be permitted through the County Highway Department.
Got it. Just curious. It's on that hillside coming down A. So I was just curious if that's already something that's in the works and not expected to be a concern.
It is. We've already talked with the county. In fact, earlier this week, they sent us the permit stuff. I paid for it on Monday, so it's moving forward.
Got it.
They had no concerns.
All right. Very good.
Any other discussion, folks? Okay, hearing none. Jennifer, because of the audio, let's do a roll call vote.
Sure, but
So
can you, Arlen, you made a motion, but did you want to, I just wanted to make sure that you added to that motion that you had that you wanted that deed restricted.
Yes, that was the intent that was a directive from the Plan Commission.
Okay, and
And
that was deed restriction for no further development.
on both parcels.
Okay,
should we resecond that, whoever?
Yes, that was me
Okay, so as modified.
as modified.
okay,
Okay.
thank you.
All right, and then if
Sure,
there's no
I
more
will call
discussions, no
vote.
more questions, let's do that. So all in favor say aye, and opposed say no.
Aye.
Well, I'm sorry, hold on. We'll do
Roll call.
a roll call because it's hard to hear.
Okay, Carl Walzer,
Aye.
Lori Fitzgerald,
Aye.
Arlen Kai,
Aye.
Steve Jernigan,
Aye.
There he is. Okay.
and Tim LeBrun.
Aye.
All right. Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you
then-
all.
Thank you a lot.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Gary.
Yep, appreciate you putting us up. Have a good week, everybody.
You
Bye now.
too.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we're on item 7, and that is the appointment of election officials, and I believe it's, oops, I lost my page. I've got it as page 16.
Carl, if you wanted to, one of the questions about deed restrictions was, is that the county will follow up and make sure that that's put on there. That's the oversight would be in the county. Just to clarify that.
Yes, and was there a question?
Earlier, there was just a question about that.
Oh, okay. It's Arlen, that's
I don't
correct.
know. She's on if
Oh.
she might not be on, Diana Packett might not be on, but
Okay.
she had asked that, and I just wanted to clarify that it's the county.
It is the county's
Yeah.
responsibility, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would also come before us if that was if a further subdivision was attempted.
Correct.
And it's documented like crazy, and we have run into cases where it's nearly impossible to override. Okay, so let's go on to anything else on that one before we move on to the next. Then this is the resolution appointing the election officials for the upcoming year, and mostly a formality. So I'd be looking for a motion to approve.
Tim moves to approve the resolution appointing election officials for 2026, 2027.
Okay, thank you. Any second for that?
I'll second. Steve.
That-
Steve seconds that. Okay, thank you, Steve. Any discussion? All right, hearing none. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no.
Aye.
Sorry, there's a delay. Okay, motion passes. Thank you. And Jennifer, just a side thing.
Yes.
do
Yeah, I
you-
don't know why
do you want
the
me to-
agenda items are weird.
Oh, something just happened on yours.
Yeah.
It all went to one. When do you need me to sign this resolution? And
I
Don't
could
say-
send
don't
it,
say
I can
tomorrow
send
morning.
it to you. I can send it
Oh.
to you to do via Adobe.
okay, that works. Okay, item 8 then is approval of the fee schedule and the building permit fees, and that's on the next page. And if there is following that actual resolution page, there's supporting documents for the fees themselves. So
Any
if-
major changes here, Jennifer?
No, no
think-
major changes.
is it just that
no
one?
changes at all, except for I took out because we don't have that park fee, I took that out.
Is the torque fee? It's in bold on the fee schedule, like the $5 torque fee. Was that new? Is that why it's in bold?
You know what? I think that was new last year.
Oh,
So
okay. So it's
that
just
it was, yeah, I think we just had, Lori, did the guys kind of have an issue with people wanting to just put things in there and?
That's not even ringing a bell with me at this point.
so it's just a
Sorry.
rogue bold font.
It was, the
Yeah.
Torque has a minimum charge of $5 for putting items
Yeah,
into the trash
yeah.
container.
Yeah, I think that's where it came from. Yes.
Okay.
You're right.
It's just for emphasis, maybe.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, but
don't
I
know.
imagine it could be taken out. Maybe
Okay.
it was bolded because it was going to be discussed last year. Sometimes
Okay.
we highlight changes so people can see them readily. So maybe that's why that's still in there.
Do you
So
want,
you're saying just take out the bold, not take out the minimum charge,
Yeah,
right?
Right,
just,
not the
it's
item.
it's basically a typo at this point, I think.
Got it.
Call
okay,
it.
I can take
Okay,
out the
that's fine.
bold, but you want the wording still in there.
Yes.
Okay, take out the bold, but leave the wording.
Okay. So again, be looking for a motion to approve the resolution and the accompanying fee schedules and building permit fees too.
I
I
move
would
to
make a
approve.
motion.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
I move to approve the fee schedule and removing the bolding.
Okay,
Second,
Lori seconds.
second.
Any other discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion passes. Thank you. This is why I want to do roll call for the other one.
Oh, yeah.
That's okay. All right. Number 9, Dave Frankson he did want to come here tonight, but with a presentation about the park plan and the progress they've made. So he's going to reschedule until either the January meeting or the annual meeting. So we'll catch him one of those nights.
Yeah, I just want to say that I think Dave's plans have been very good and everything that's happened in the parks, and hopefully people have had a chance to walk through all of them and see all the great improvements that have happened. And it is wonderful how every member of that committee, excluding myself, has done a heck of a lot in all those parks. It's they look very nice.
Mm-hmm. I haven't been to all of them, and I'm not going to any of them this weekend.
No, I guess not.
No.
But no, the improvements are wonderful. It's something the town can really look at and be real proud of.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree. Okay, so moving on then to item 10. I really don't have anything for Belleville. I traded emails with Mike today, and one thing to keep in mind is they're going to monthly district board meetings in 2026. I think what I might want to do is in the January meeting is have a discussion about overall coverage of each of the fire and EMS districts and see what we want to do as far as not overwhelming Mike, seeing if everybody's good with assignments the way they are now, and just a general discussion. So we'll have it within this same agenda item, but it might go out a little bit beyond just the specific district discussions.
Sure. I'd be happy to give an update on the Oregon district if you'd like.
Absolutely.
Yeah, lots has been discussed on the Oregon district. Last we spoke, certainly the funding of doing anything extraordinary has been pushed out till likely into the 2033 to 2035 range. It's primarily due to the funding ability of the village. And I wholeheartedly agree with, pacing ourselves here. Most recently, we looked at one more time, where is the best place to put another fire station or the fire station. And it continues to show that the location that it's at is without question the best location. We looked at it. We were able to do some kind of forced projections to see if that would change much. When I say forced projections, with the growth that is anticipated in the village of Oregon going south and west, primarily west at the moment, down Netherwood or CC, or not Netherwood, but CC primarily. There's some large apartment complexes that are scheduled to go in the Mulligans area. And even with that change, there hasn't been a big pull to the west for a new fire station location. So we've refocused our attention on the existing fire station. One of the major issues that we are primarily focused on is firefighter safety. And we do not have a good decontamination space for firefighters right now. where they can be separated from their, the garments that they wear going into fires. We certainly don't want to send, any of those contaminants into the rest of the fire station, or even worse, home. And so we are having the architect look at some plans to beef up our decontamination area. We got a brief glimpse at how that could be done within the walls of the current fire station. It would eat into some of the existing spaces, but it's still doable. And so we are focused on improving firefighter safety in that area at that location. Secondly, we have talked about the possibility of there is a couple of pieces of property near the current fire station that may be used for kind of annex space, overflow space, for lack of a better term, where the brush trucks, the ATV, the trailer for the ATV, and some of the other storage requirements could be put in a separate building, not directly attached to the current fire station. We're looking into those possibilities right now. And our architect is looking more closely at taking that space that we've identified, but again, not confirmed yet, space that we've identified, and how that could be constructed in such a way to offload some of the, for lack of a better term, the bays where the current fire trucks are parked is the oldest part of the building and desperately needs to be updated if we are going to stay in that location. So our architect is looking at how that could be reconfigured and reconstructed, and what the cost would be to do that in the current fire station location. Again, removing those bays and reconstructing them to be safer and more appropriate for our current equipment. And at the same time, offloading some of the equipment requirements to this annex location, not directly attached to the current fire station. So we are going to get a look at what the possibilities are in our January meeting. That meeting is scheduled for, I think, around January 18th. It's approximately in the middle of January. And we will get a look at both what those annex location facilities might look like, what the cost is to construct on that location, because that would be a temporary primary fire station location for our equipment while our current bays are reconstructed. Again, all brand new discussions just in our last meeting about doing that. Those are not anticipated. The dollars to do that, we really don't know what they are. We have an idea, but until we have more concrete dollars in front of us and what that configuration would look like, we're not going to talk about what the dollars are. So I will have an update, not for the January meeting, but probably for the February meeting on how that went. The last piece of information that will be discussed in that January meeting will be conversations with that property owner, and if it's even feasible to access that particular property for this type of project. So as soon as I have more information, I will let everybody know.
Okay. Thanks, Steve.
One completely separate from a new fire station, I also want to note that Glenn has been talking, and Phil has been talking with both Verona and Fitchburg. Very long-term, very preliminary discussions around the potential for consolidation among those communities, Oregon, Fitchburg, and Verona, and whether those continued conversations could play a role in a new fire station that would support all three of those locations, kind of centered in between those communities. Again, super preliminary. These kinds of discussions take years and years. And as you can imagine, as boards and village leadership changes in any one of those communities, those discussions could get derailed or extended. So just be aware of that.
Yeah. I do. Well, two just quick questions, or not questions, more statements, I suppose. But I think the idea of decontamination improvements is a huge. It's obviously a prior. You take the new station out of the equation, then that's just a huge, probably the top
It
item
is.
to work on. And
Without,
I thought that in one of the maybe it was just a speculation and a guess, but I thought that there was some discussion in one of the meetings. It was still generally about the new station, discussion about decontamination methods that could be improved or new methods or whatever it is. And there was some cost estimate maybe, or am I not remembering that right?
to reconfigure part of the current station to accommodate a improved decontamination, yes. Yes, that has been discussed. Yes, there was a cost thrown out, a very preliminary cost.
Yeah.
But then it quickly advanced into this broader scope.
Okay.
So it was frankly less expensive than I was anticipating. In
Well,
the
I mean,
in the $1 million range.
right, right. I mean, anything relative to a new station looks like a bargain.
That is
You know what I mean? It's just
super
like,
true. Yes, very true.
and then the other thing about the village and Fitchburg and what was the third? Verona.
Yep.
I mean, we've been talking about consolidation on and off, within this board.
Yes.
And that, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. But you're right, it's going to be years and years.
Yeah, I think
and not a guarantee.
Yeah, and frankly, I think we're not far off from having the state and frankly the county start to provide some incentives for that kind of consideration. One thing that we did talk about is hiring a consultant to those three municipalities. Hiring a consultant among those three municipalities to help us better understand what that would look like, what process it would take, what timeline it could follow, and what cost. So, the whole Dane County 911 system is a huge step forward in that kind of consolidation. And it is working very, very well. And I think we just I think we're ahead of the curve from a county perspective. If you look at all the other counties in the state, I think Dane County is ahead of the curve in that Dane County 911 system. And it is a leading force for consolidation.
Yeah, makes sense.
Thanks, Tim, I don't want to belabor this, but as you were speaking, the first question that came to my mind was waiting out another 10 years for a new station. Obviously, the big question is, as the village continues to grow, is that really putting the community in jeopardy of, having adequate fire service? But then you went on to talk about these options that people are that sound very, likely. But those are going to cost money too.
Yes, for sure. Absolutely.
And so it's that question of you can keep patching up and repairing and adding and annexing, but then maybe the money would be better put toward a new station. The consolidation idea sounds much more promising initially to me. So that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, it's encouraging without question. Again, very long-term view of things. But, the funding situation that the village is in is frankly buying us time for the village to grow and for these consolidation questions to kind of blossom a little bit. And so, and in the meantime, we are going to focus on this firefighter safety issue.
Yeah.
No matter what, as the village continues to grow and the other communities, the other communities like the town of Oregon, Rutland, Dunn, are not growing.
Yeah.
So, as the village goes, so do we go when it comes to this fire and EMS protection. The fire or the village does not seem or feel in a panic that we have outgrown our current resources.
Mhm.
I think that, when we talk about outgrowing our current resources, this ladder truck continues to come up.
Yeah.
And so there's nothing on the horizon that is going to require the need for a ladder truck before we have a ladder truck. So any of the apartment buildings or commercial buildings that are going in that are being planned for does not outstrip our current equipment. And because the 911 system sends us mutual aid from all these other communities, if we need a ladder truck, Verona, Fitchburg, and Stoughton all have ladder trucks, and Dane County 911 will send us one or two if we need it.
Okay.
Okay.
Tim, back on the safety issue for the firefighters. I know the chief's been talking about that, the meetings I've set into. Is that something that can happen, fairly quickly to get some facility or get a facility that can be used to make sure that their safety is taken care of?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I think that the firefighter safety issue isn't going to require us to wait 10 years. The firefighter safety issue will likely, I think we'll come to a decision on what we're going to do with that decontamination area within the next 6 months, and likely sooner than that.
Thank you. Good.
Yes. Yeah. We're not going to drag our feet on that issue.
Excellent.
Steve, as long as you're on the line, anything in Brooklyn?
As far as Brooklyn, not much. Their main issues right now are their boiler system that's been put on hold for a while, only because the lead technician for Hillstead just underwent a knee replacement, and the term they use will be out indefinitely. And as somebody that had that done before, it takes a while. So I didn't realize they really only had one lead technician, and when it ever does get done, the job will take about a month. So I'm not I don't think they're that concerned. It's only sounds like only about a 15-year-old system, and it's reaching the end of its time, but I don't think they're too concerned about it going. And the only other issue they've got going is trying to sell their ambulance. Their ambulance, the new ones, has since been here, and I guess they've got Mike Brusberg sent out a message that they have a possible sale with Mercy Health, and also now Dane County Emergency is also looking at it, thinking they might be interested. So at some point, and those are pretty minor issues.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Thank you. All right. Anything else for fire and EMS before we move off of that? Sounds like nothing. And then item 11 is a torque report. And there are a couple of sheets in the packet. And Lori, did you want to say anything about that?
Those little reports are just kind of summarizing what's been going on down there, and they've had about 7 weeks now that they've been using the new traffic pattern.
Right.
And it's there has been a little bit of playing with making sure that the trailer is in the best place. They wanted to see, once they started redirecting people around the facility, did they really have the new unit placed in the best possible location? And they have moved it a little bit, and for that reason they haven't done the electrical hookup yet. So they're still kind of using the original part of the old office.
Okay.
But they're about ready to commit to what the way they've got the buildings now. But the nice thing is they have felt that the change has been implemented smoothly, and they hear a lot of positive feedback every weekend. You know, a couple, 3 people, or whatever, will comment that they like the new arrangement. So it seems to be going as well as can be expected.
Super. That's great. Okay. Any questions for Lori? Anyone?
No.
Okay. So we covered item 12 already. Item 13, let me just speak to the 13A for a second. I would actually, I brought that up and want to just consider it as a future agenda item. I don't have anything right now, but I do, what prompted me was the insert in the tax bill envelope just about right away. And I'd like for us to take a look at those cases where 66 feet isn't practical. And there's a statute, very short. It's not very specific. And so part of the eventual discussion will be, okay, what are the criteria for considering something an impractical width? And part of that is living in a subdivision and looking at some of the neighbors whose homes are very close to the road. And I guess I don't know for sure from subdivision to subdivision how common that is, but I think it's an issue. So I'd like for us to at least take a look at that. And when I say us, I suppose I mean the Road and Traffic Safety Committee. So that's just that item. And again, nothing for tonight necessarily. Is there anything else from that committee that we know?
Not there. We've been working on language for the future contracts.
Okay.
And that's in process. We'll be having it ready for the next round of work contracts. And I'm doubling back on 13A. I'm trying to think, we don't have any 3-rod roads, and we're not in any constriction for having that. So I'm very curious as to where the problem is. What's the problem?
I don't know that there's a problem. I think it's until recently I hadn't heard anything about a right-of-way with less than 66 feet, but there is a 49.5 floor. But it's almost like, oh, the town can make up its own criteria, which is not 100% true. There's a minimal amount of specifics behind the statute. So it's more that I thought it was curious, and I have not dug into it yet. So that's why I wanted it just as a future agenda item.
Be open for discussion. I'm sure we'll have some good background from the multiple engineers we have on the committee.
Yeah, happy to hear it.
I have something, it's a typo thing. Hate to be the bearer of that news always. The second line of the letter, if you have that in front of you, there's a missing word, I think. So it reads, if you start the second sentence of the letter, a major part of keeping our roads safe is to be able to see oncoming traffic and pedestrians.
The two is missing, you're saying?
Yeah, to be able to see oncoming traffic and pedestrians. And that I just wanted to, I don't even know if it needs to be pointed out at the meeting, but thought I would get that on the radar.
It's funny, like about 81 of us proofread those.
Well, yeah, this is the nature of proofreading. There's always the thing you miss. And it often ends up being in a really obvious place too.
Yeah.
Like right at the beginning of the letter.
When you should be fresh.
if you have those typos toward the end, so that the first reader, the first thing the reader
Yeah.
doesn't sees as a typo, not good. So,
Yeah.
Well, Stan corrected or Stan guilty. And Lori, I think that's the way I talk.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
but
funny.
and I also want to just ditto, Steve had nice things to say about the park committee, and I to back up Arlen, this committee really is a great asset. They're really doing a lot for the township. They're really helping us a lot, and it's nice to see how much how productive this committee is.
And detailed and future
Oh,
looking and
absolutely
wow,
detailed.
it's amazing.
They are incredibly detail oriented, wouldn't you say, Arlen?
Very much so. To our advantage.
Yes.
We got some feedback from the Union Road application, and they're just looking for some more information on that. So that seems promising
Oh,
as
Oh,
well.
good. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
okay. That
Very
we're
good.
attracting attention. That's good.
Yeah.
Anything else that's going on here?
Let's see. Anything else related to 13 and the Road and Traffic Safety Committee?
Lori?
Got that covered? Then I'm going to move to 14. 14 Public Works Report. And Jennifer, you said we don't really have one other than
Correct.
the office and details surrounding that, which we covered previously. Building Committee report also no. The office trailer again really overlaps with that. And we know where we are with that.
I think you'll see in your packet, there was a quote for the electrician. That was all that was in the packet for that.
Then 16 is the building inspection report, and that's on page 49, it looks like is where it starts.
Right.
So that's for your casual reading. 17. Okay, let's talk about this. So also a few pages beyond that, 2 job descriptions. One for the town administrator and one for a very long title. Have to double check with. So okay, so the group of Jennifer, Stephanie, and Lori have been working on handbook documentation, position description documentation, and one of the things to consider about position descriptions is that they're not necessarily set for any particular term. So if we find that these two need to be adjusted in one way or another, we can do that without any consequences, let me say. I mean, we've got the ability to do that whenever we find that something either needs to be enhanced or written out of it, or whatever the changes are, we can do that. Jennifer and or Lori, what stage would these two be in at this point? Very close to a final draft, if not the final drafts?
I mean, I would consider them pretty close to being final. I feel like they could be, we can tweak them over the time that we're doing the jobs as we start to, but I think they're pretty good.
Lori, that sounds right too.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Would you, I'm tempted to, I would like to have them in place to start 2026. But I think one thing that would be a good discussion would be where are these different than, I mean, there's no existing position description for either one, right? Not that matches up, but from Jennifer's, from where you are operating now, I think at some point you said the town administrator types of jobs in other municipalities is about the same as what this says and what you already do.
So
and really the same with Stephanie's too.
Yeah, both of the job descriptions, like the clerk and the treasurer and the deputy clerk, they both came, and then so what I did was just add the administrator and the land use coordinator and added those jobs to the one that was already existing prior. So Right.
So really, it seems like to me, it seems like it's a reflection of what reality is now, and it's
Yeah.
for both of these jobs, it's been written to try to capture that.
I would say it helps the public direct where to go and who to talk to. So somebody wanting wanting to talk to someone about land use, it would help to like know that there's a land use coordinator that they can work with. Otherwise, they don't know. It's a clerk and a deputy clerk don't it used to, I think, mean something, but it doesn't mean that anymore. So this provides a person.
Mhm.
So a title means something more to the outside, more than a job description does. It's more of a
Right.
title. So that's, I think, helpful. But it's jobs that we are currently doing. Yes.
Mhm.
I
Well, go ahead, Tim.
I was expecting to see something about staff leadership.
And that we probably would need to add if there's probably something about supervisor and direct town staff under the direction of the town board, oversee day-to-day operations of the town under the direction of the town board.
Oh yeah, okay, I see that
Okay.
now.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's where that would come in. Maybe it probably gets to be kind of a long list of duties and probably could be added to, and there are things that are in statute too. So some of it kind of can become redundant. So try not to include all of that as well. And then trying to write it again if it were like, yeah.
I just want to make sure that it's clear that you are leading the staff and that you are have the responsibility and the authority.
Yeah.
And I want that to be crystal clear in here.
Okay.
And I wonder if that's, I think it should be definitely clear in the position description. I don't wonder if the board should also, I don't know about announce, I don't mean announce it, but I kind of mean announce it in a staff meeting.
Yes, I think there needs to be a rollout plan that so that everybody's on the same page, so that it doesn't come to a critical issue to find out that something has changed, because I think that's an important change.
Yes.
And so that I just want to make sure that's incorporated into, unless I'm missing something.
No, Tim, I don't think you are. And there's a little bit of, I think that level or that layer where I could do the HR for the town board.
Yes.
Which helps prevent the town board, take some responsibility off the town board in terms of some open meeting laws and things like that. So, of course, it's under the direction of the town board.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. If we need to put that in there, I certainly
Yeah.
understand that.
Yeah.
But more than anything, I want it to be clear that you have the authority to make those decisions. And so when we need to have staffing on Friday during the summer to do fill in the blank, that you have the authority to say, we need somebody here.
Okay.
We can't both, everybody can't be gone.
Yeah.
And I'm just using that as an example. And I want to make sure that we empower you with that authority in this document.
Okay.
And I think it also comes with the responsibility too. The annual review thing.
Okay.
Constructive feedback. All the things that go along with leading a staff.
Sure. Okay.
I don't want to overcomplicate it, but I do want it to be clear, because otherwise it's going to get challenged.
Yes, and to your point, Tim, this long list of items perhaps that should be pulled out under a separate heading, like you see you have hours and reporting.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Like if it were just in one place with a bold heading like that. This way it's just kind of like listed with other things, but it's definitely an issue of chain of command.
Yes.
And so we just maybe need to find a way to make that stand out more in the list of tasks.
Yeah, even if it requires an addendum, for lack of a better term, job description.
Yeah,
Again, I don't want to overcomplicate it, but I do want it to be clear.
No, I don't think I think it would be a not that great a problem to make it stand out a little bit more, but I would go with Jennifer's what her thoughts are on that. One thing, maybe it could be in each of these. Could you scroll this back up to the top, Jennifer?
Absolutely.
Okay, so if here you have purpose of position. So maybe that should be that'd be the place to put that in. Because that's really like then the other items are all pieces of what you do, but the overall, the big point is you serve as the key town official, and that key part of being that key town official would be to direct staff, make sure all jobs are covered, however we wanted to word that.
Yeah, and if we need to get a copy of an administrator's job description, like from the village or another township or whatever the case may be, just so we have some words to use.
Yeah.
If I can help with that, please just let me know and I will dig into it.
And your group used a number of examples, didn't it?
Yeah,
already?
there was a lot of kind of consulting other positions and so forth.
Right.
Okay.
But again, Jennifer, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that's great. I mean, honestly, to be honest, I didn't belabor it. I was trying to get this done, obviously, when I was, out. So, and trying to do it for the Jan 1. So, I mean, not that there was a reason that we had to have it by Jan 1, but so
it'd be nice and clean
perfect.
though. It'd be nice and clean to have it by early 2026.
Right.
It could even be the January board meeting.
Yes, exactly.
Just try it out on the January board meeting.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Make sure that it, and then is there, back to again to Tim's point about chain of command, would there be a need for a second document that goes with the employee handbook materials to just an overview of how work is allocated? And I don't know.
I think the handbook is a decent document for things like that. Even if it's like here's a small handbook that's going to grow into a bigger handbook, but to have a across the board understanding of how the town operates.
And it would be about coverage, this idea of the services and having to have people on call and to be staffing, that is such an important part of the work that the town staff does. Then maybe that just sort of about from the angle of we have to be available for emergencies and for coverage and meeting the residents' needs, that maybe it could be a separate little statement at some part again toward the beginning of the handbook. I don't know, just an idea.
No, I think there's where the board comes in, and I've said this a couple times, is I think our task is to set the expectations for what we really mean by saying that. What does it mean that somebody's available?
Yeah.
Or or what's the coverage that's okay, or things like that. That's still I think a missing piece.
And there were some ideas presented about various ways we could collaborate on some of the public works functions with neighboring the
Oh, right.
village and other townships and so forth. That's been sort of brought up and explored. I think Abel has even looked into some of those ideas. I don't know. It's just, it's a big thing, you know, it has many kind of dimensions to it, I guess you could say.
Mhm, mhm.
Arlen.
Here, I've got a question of just organizing the writing. We have a very large list, and it's not easy to.
It isn't, everything, things get lost.
And on that, Jennifer, you made a very good comment on having something that our good citizens can get an idea as to what the staff is doing.
Yeah,
I'll pick on, if you had a heading, like a bold heading there, elections. What are the
Mhm.
things that have to do with elections? What are the things that have to do with taxes? What do
Yeah.
they have to do with, I mean, they're just,
Public Works, directing Public Works staff or directing office.
or, supervision, yeah,
Yeah.
directing that. But if they were in smaller groups, it's not right now I'm kind of looking at this sea of words.
Yeah, and it's that person who is I found that a lot of engineers are like this. They're very detail minded, but you have all these details, you become overwhelmed. You don't group things into functions, you know, and then it just becomes like, oh my gosh, I forgot bullet item number 343. But rather than these are my essential duties, the categories of services that I administer or whatever. Yeah,
Yes.
so it's just be maybe a matter of incorporating more subheadings.
I think so. It make it a little easier to read too.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're on the right track. Leadership, who's in charge?
Yeah,
I didn't do it.
Mhm. Well, should
I,
we aim for January then and seeing
yeah,
a
Yeah,
draft
that sounds good. That
like
and
with
you know, I
sounds
want to
good.
ask,
more info,
yeah,
more readable?
yeah. I have another question for Jennifer.
Yeah.
Again, this list is very detailed. And I get why you'd want to include everything that somebody might be expected to do, every discrete task. But is that maybe that could be dialed back a little bit in the level of detail of some of those things?
I would absolutely agree with you. Again, I took this from what we had
Right.
existing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so when I was doing it, and I was telling this to Stephanie as well, it's like, okay, well, doing agendas or taking fees, it's like we don't need them to be so detailed. But I just
Right.
I didn't have the time to
No,
massage it really
no.
well. So
And you wanted to include everything.
yes.
Because, and that's the way I do things like that. I get everything that anybody ever did before. And then you gotta go through and make it organized, and that's where we're at. It's
Yeah.
not,
And
yeah,
I listened to Arlen and I tried to do that, especially with Stephanie's, where it was like, well, this is what the treasurer does, and then this is what the land use coordinator does, and then this is what the deputy clerk does, and like, you know, so that if we ever had someone working in the office, it would be like, well, this is what they're going to be doing, these functions.
mm.
But yes, I think we can do it a better
Well,
job.
I was talking to Stephanie about this today,
Mhm.
and and she was pointing out, well, they're just two of us and we do everything.
Mm.
So it's like, this is everything. So like you clean out the bathrooms
Yeah.
and you clean, someone has to clean the refrigerator. I mean, do everything that, but you know, so then it's kind of hard to, you know, explain it.
Yeah, and I think more for me, like I was looking more for like the outside in, you know, of I think the plan commission and that role is a major one that I think the town hasn't really acknowledged, and that to me is another role that I would
Oh,
really like to.
I agree that though working with those standing committees, that those are huge.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I just think that that's kind of I think going forward, that's gonna kind of be a role that's, someone's gonna have to want to always know that that's gonna be a task staff has. And I think that's because of that, you can't have the person that's gonna be deciding also be the person you're working with. It's that conflict of interest that has come up that, it just, so. But I think we can do it in January. Yep, I think we can.
I think that's great.
Okay.
And I think
Yeah.
we just have to remind ourselves, it's never going to be perfect. It's a living document
It's a
that
start.
it's more than a good start. I think it is really, just to have it here in the packet is really important. So
Especially when you consider, oh, sorry, Tim, go ahead.
yeah, if we can just kind of dial in and kind of lump some of these things together so it's not so wordy, and make sure that the authority and responsibility pieces captured, I am certain we can get something put in place at our January meeting, and we'll just improve upon it as we go.
I mean, I was going to say it's especially impressive considering that we're really coming from almost nowhere with this
Yes.
type of employment-related procedural things and support on everything like that. So it's a sort of a theme is that we're really building a decent infrastructure for managing the town.
Mhm.
Committees, government, staff, everything looking good. So January, we'll shoot for that.
Sounds good.
All right, thank you very much. Let's see here.
Excellent. We get some election dates coming up.
One thing is so onto future agenda items and things like that. It's not on here, but the Plan Commission meeting when
Yeah, I think I just added it lately. Yeah, Tuesday.
Oh, okay. Is it on there already?
Yeah.
So is it the 16th for sure?
Yeah.
Okay. And Bridget had requested that if possible that the board attends. Do we know what time that is though? I saw the date.
It's 6:30. 6:30.
6:30. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Sounds good.
And then anyone doesn't know, that's the rewrites and that Stephanie and Lori have been working on, and then the comp plan. I'm sorry.
No, you're right.
It is the comp plan.
The cup.
Yes, I'm sorry, but it's the CUP.
CUP stuff.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
right.
Sorry.
That's the new part.
That's the impetus for doing these amendments all at once, or these changes.
Yeah.
And Carl, do you mind if we just go back a minute to,
Oh, sure.
I just wanted to point out that I had in the packet, and maybe Arlen, I know you talked to Stephanie about it, but it was just the potential for that blanket rezone.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that was in that packet.
It's on page 43.
I think that just needs a little explanation from Dane County as to what it is so we all understand what's going on.
And I'm sure Bridget can talk about that
Right.
next
And
week as
answer
well.
our questions.
So
Okay.
often it's just cleaning things up, but it's always an area of concern as to what's happening to my property.
Mhm. Understandable.
Very, very understandable. So a little explanation is there, but do want to have the CUP modifications to the land use plan and the edits, clarifying, easier to read, all those good things
Mhm.
on when we go to public hearing, that this is again a comprehensive change to the comprehensive plan.
Mhm. Have we thought about a schedule, like a frequency of updates?
I think it's going to be close to March, April for public hearings. We'll see.
Well, I guess I meant how many years in between comprehensive plan updates?
Oh,
If we haven't thought about it yet, that's fine.
We haven't
okay.
thought about it.
Yeah, that's fine.
It has been that anywhere from 10 to 15 to 20 years between comp plans.
Okay, so that's not good. So pick a different set of numbers.
That's right. So we're just editing.
Right.
So it's also anytime that there is need for a change, make the change. Don't
Yeah.
wait for 5, 10, 20 years.
Right. Right. Okay. Sounds good to me. Anything else on the cleanup or
Now the
anything like
cleanup,
that?
I mean, I would say, how did it get missed on the upcoming agenda here? Do want to reiterate that the town board meeting on January 13th, I will be in Vietnam.
Oh, okay.
What kind of excuse is that?
I thought it was
Take your phone
I
with
will-
you,
I
Arlen.
will-
Yeah, can't you check in with Zoom?
What's the time difference?
You can Zoom.
Oh,
Can I show you how to zoom in, Arlen?
Yeah.
you get me a good link, Jennifer. If we can do that. Time
show you.
difference is about 12 hours.
Oh, okay. Well, that wouldn't
Beautiful.
be too bad. It would be 8 in the morning. It would be 6
So
in
you'll
the
be-
morning. Right
You'll be
there.
bright and bushy tailed. Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, that'll work.
who knows? We might just be able to make it.
Make a note.
Just keep the meetings kind of chop in,
Mm.
moving right along, so I don't miss my tours of
There you
Anchor.
go.
Or your plane or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going. One more item, it looks like. Jennifer, this is for you.
So I
Any-
just have the election dates on there. I don't know yet that if we'll have that spring primary. And then, of course, we have the nomination papers that, so I suppose not having a meeting tonight, you might get somebody calling. Those are able to be circulated right now. And that would be Lori and Arlen that are up. And we will have to move up the date of our August 11th. So I know that's a summer meeting date. So with that, we'll move it up to August 4th. If we can just pencil that into our calendars. I have that on the agenda. And then the next thing would be is if obviously the taxes went out. You guys saw that. That was a little bit of a surprise. We definitely were not ready. We usually have input into when they get mailed, and we did not this year. So, and Access Dane doesn't even have the tax bills up yet. So the whole thing is just kind of very convoluted and confusing. And the system to even accept the tax payments, the software system wasn't even operational. So it's been very difficult, and poor Stephanie's muddling through that alone, but she's doing an excellent job. But people are paying, they paid right away starting on Monday.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
So there are some district meetings from the Wisconsin Towns Association, and I just put those at the end of your packet. And if anyone would like to go to, there's the closest one's Barneveld, and then there's the virtual ones. And if you would like to attend, just let me know and I can get you signed up for those. Other than that, I was telling Carl, and I apologize if I didn't tell the board had agreed to put out an ad or hire a 4th snowplow driver. And we didn't have to put out an ad because there was a snowplow driver from the town of Albany that was willing to come over, and that 4th driver has been very well received. This Sunday, Ryan had tickets to go to the Packers-Bears game, and so that other driver was able to take his place so that he could attend that. So that's been very helpful for our employees, and we've gotten some really good comments back from the residents that the streets have looked really well. So
Do we have something in our employee handbook about making it to the Packers-Bears game?
It should be a special category of,
That would,
yeah, that'd be, yeah.
Yeah, so, it will get, then we have someone to put in that I-52, a fourth driver, which gets the cul-de-sacs and so. I think that's
Great.
all I have.
It's nice
Awesome.
to have more drivers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
Very
great,
nice.
and it's nice that it wasn't difficult to find the extra help.
Yeah, true.
that's good.
True. All right. Anything else before we wrap this up?
Do we have any, other than the Plan Commission meeting later this month, are there any other meetings that are happening in the balance of December?
I have a fire commission meeting on Thursday.
Oh, you do.
The which meeting?
The fire commission meeting.
Nothing for me. And I don't know if Steve's still there.
There's just, there's a Brooklyn Fire Commission, a week from tomorrow.
So not too much.
Not too much.
No,
Too much.
no. There's,
Okay.
All right. Last chance, everybody.
Tim, I do have I'm sorry I didn't get face to face tonight. I'm still sitting there with a picture of Jackson in my calendar waiting for you. I think I owe you something. So.
Oh.
Was that from the?
I completely forgot about it, but
Oh, I didn't.
Thanks.
When I stopped in the road of traffic, the committee in November, and I saw Sue. I said, Sue, I wish I had something for you, but believe it or not, I'm one of those people that doesn't carry. I don't carry cash with me.
yeah, no problem.
I do. So anyway, we'll get it to you. Hopefully there's enough milk on the table. So.
All right. Thanks, Steve. I appreciate your remembering.
You bet.
All right.
Oh, yes.
Sounds like a full disclosure.
Yes.
I do appreciate backgrounds. Lori, very appropriate background for our professor.
Uh-huh.
Tim,
Kind of mess.
I love your family winter theme pictures in the background.
Thank you.
Carl, I love your very fuzzy background. You're in total focus.
Yeah, you're out of focus, yeah.
Everything is
What?
you got a fuzzy background.
I know. There's a stand right behind me for cats, and
Oh,
this is where I do my
Oh.
business meetings too. But every so often a cat will jump behind. Well, there's one right here right now.
oh
They'll
darn.
jump, and all of a sudden it's entertainment for the rest of the company.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Like no.
And that interference an hour ago, I think I got on the Zoom all of a sudden, and that interference came. I thought I was still trying to play with that, and I think I was interfering everything. So I said, okay, get rid of it.
Mm.
We'll make sure you get on next. We'll make sure you're on next time for sure.
Well, that's all on me. I should have been doing this, right away when I got that notice. I should have gone on so I can make sure I can get in, but that wouldn't have done any good anyway, because there was nothing on. So who knows?
Onward.
But thank you for the call, Tim, and maybe I was a little more wide awake during this whole thing.
There you go.
All right, everybody. Without objection, then we are adjourned.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you
Carl.
very much.
Happy
All right.
holidays.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah,
Good night.
good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.